It is where the short trackers gather. Happy Thursday, everybody. It is time to dive into the dirty air. My name is Rodney Rodriguez. Glad you're with me on this Thursday. Man, I've got a loaded program for you guys today. As always, showcasing the local short tracks that I've been talking about. And this week it's going to be South Alabama Speedway because the Rattler is coming up next week. Right about this time, it'll be getting ready to go time about this time next week. Ryan McCollough is going to join me here in about 9 minutes. That's going to be that's my Alabama cousin right there. That's going to join me as we'll be on the call for that you can catch right here on Racing America, along with the Easter Bunny weekend. All of that excitement there. Then coming up at 6:30, we're going to kind of go off course a little bit with Dirty Air, which is something else that I plan to do this year with the program. We're going drag racing. It is time to go to the Gator Nationals, which is also happening in Florida. Not that the Rattler's happening in Florida, but a lot of things happen in Florida. Alexis DeJoria is going to join me. Great, funny car driver from my neck of the woods, as a matter of fact. So we'll talk to her. 6:45 or so. And again, all of these times are approximate at this point. Ricky Brooks. UARA super late models there, along with the Baby Rattler 120 or the Baby Rattler 100, and then the Sportsman, everything that's going to be going there at South Alabama. So you kind of feel the theme that we're doing right there, and then kind of staying with that theme of what we're doing or what I'm doing with the Rattler is. Super excited at 7 o'clock, top of the hour. So we're going to go a little bit longer this evening. So I hope you don't mind. Damn good thing it ain't football season because you ain't got college football or none of that stuff to watch. But at the top of the hour, I'm going to talk to Flying Ryan Colby. And, of course, that dude right there, that is one of the best crate dirt late model racers that you're going to find in the country. He actually made the jump over to pavement and was a part of the snowball derby there, trying to make the snowflake. Had a little trouble there in the last chance qualifier. Didn't make the race, but he will be attempting to do the Baby Rattler. So going to talk to Colby as he comes off of a win at Jackson this past weekend, so he's off and rolling. Again, you saw on Facebook a big thanks to Taylor Kitchen as we did the cap swap. So I'm sporting the above the yellow line cap right there. If you want to do that with me, I'd love to swap caps. And by the way, I think the other day when we had a problem with the Facebook or whatever, so something happened where some stuff was getting hacked or whatever. If you see something that trying to sell you Dirty Air merchandise or even the Revved Up Texas Show merchandise, if it doesn't say on-demand shirts, it's not legit. So don't be buying stuff because if you buy stuff that isn't from on-demand shirts, odds are you're going to get ripped off and you're not going to get your money back. And don't ask me for it because I don't have any money to give you. So make sure it's on-demand shirts. And by the way, I'll have some of that good stuff over at the Rattler at South Alabama Speedway. Again, before Ryan jumps on, I do want to remind you, it is my plight this year to showcase local short tracks like we're doing this week with South Alabama Speedway. They happen to have the big event coming up, but I want to talk about your track. I want to talk about your drivers. I want your promoters to jump on the air right here on Racing America and tell everybody what is so good about your track. Dirty Air Racing Show at gmail.com. It is the 2024 local track spotlight. So you guys email me that. And I've gotten a lot of good questions. And every now and then I'll kind of go to the mailbox and answer some of those. I'll answer some of those today because a lot of those have been about Houston, which Houston is about to get fired off and rolling here this week as well. So I'll touch on that just a little bit later. One last thing here in these first few minutes. Folks ask me all the time because I get, when I say that I've been doing this for a long time. I've grown up at racetracks. I never tell you how old I am. I'm north of 50. But so I was looking for something the other day because we were doing this thing in Texas with kind of a San Antonio race reunion. That's one of the questions that I have gotten at Dirty Air Racing Show at gmail.com. When is San Antonio going to reopen? Never. That land has been sold and it is not going to reopen. It's done. No hopes, nothing, at least there. But I was going through some stuff looking for something, and look at that. I found this. You youngsters, you young Gen X or Gen whatever the hell Zs or whatever letter we're in these days. Does anybody know what this is? This, my friends, my youngsters, this is called a cassette tape. A cassette tape. And if you look at it real close, I mean, the camera's kind of a little bit away from me. It says Daytona 500. What I used to have to do when I was a kiddo is I would have my tape recorder and I would do, I'd sit there and try to imitate the PA announcers and do all these different things. But this right here, this is probably worth some money because and it's totally pirated and breaking all kind of copyrights because this is the 1982 Daytona 500 in a condensed version on cassette is what I have right here. So guys, that's how old I am when I find this. And as I was doing it, I found God, I probably even shouldn't say this on air these days. I found the Rebel 400. I found the Firecracker 400. I found the Mason Dixon 400, 500, I think it was. Just a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, these are cassettes. These are cassettes. I'll post that and watch as I set this down because I have to set it down very gently because it may just like disintegrate when I set it down. But really cool stuff right there. That's the way that we used to have to do things back in the day. I'd love your comments. The show is live. We will have some recorded segments, but you guys feel free to drop your comments there. Let me know where you're going racing this weekend, all of that cool stuff. Now we're jumping over. Like I said, man, we've got a lot of stuff that's going on this weekend and rolling us into the next weekend. And here we go. I'm heading over. Like I said, I'm gonna talk to my cousin. Talking to my cousin over in Alabama because our names, our last names are pretty damn similar. McCollough, Rodriguez sounds same to me. I mean, it's the same old thing.
That's right. That's right. Perfect.
Right. It's Ryan McCollough. Ryan, how we doing, brother?
Doing absolutely fantastic, Rodney. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, dude. So it looks like for you, we can talk about all the good race fun and everything that's coming up. But man, looks like you're keeping yourself pretty damn busy with all the different things that you're doing right now.
I guess you would say living the dream right now. It's a stressful dream at times, but we're having all sorts of fun. Getting ready for the racing season. Just had a first birthday for my daughter. Last year at Rattler time, my wife had just had our
Yeah.
daughter just a couple of weeks earlier. So that's been cool. Also picked up a little gig calling some baseball for the local college here in Alabama. So staying busy, but it's a fun busy.
Ryan, I remember that last year, and of course, I met you there. And thank you for allowing me to work in your booth with you. I mean, that's one of the coolest things that's ever happened for me. But I remember that last year, where towards the end of the weekend, right there, you're like, "Dude, I'm ready to get out of here. I want to go see my baby. I want to go. I mean, I'm done. It's been a long weekend, man. That's pretty cool, right there, isn't it? That kind of changes stuff up a little bit."
Absolutely, it completely changes the way you see things. Actually, the baby actually had got to come to the Rattler on Thursday. My wife does the scoring.
Mhm.
She'll work the transponder system and does line scoring and things of that nature. So during that all day practice session that the late models have, we have a picture and we're going to frame it and put it in a room of Bet as a 3-week-old baby is got her little pallet on the countertop of the at the
Awesome.
racetrack as my wife is clicking off laps on the transponder system. She's snoozing with the late models in the background.
Nice. Hey, that's a good humming sound. I mean, my wife loves when the NASCAR race is on because that's her best sleep of the week.
Yeah,
She's
definitely.
like that can put me to sleep. So we'll get to the 250 and the Baby Rattler and Sportsman and all that and everything coming up for the weekend. But let's talk more about South Alabama Speedway because I mean that's your spot, and I got to tell you that is one of the best run racetracks. Kind of talk about everything happening there. I mean, I think what's so cool about you guys there. You've got a great ownership group. The folks that run that, it's run like a business, and you guys just click stuff off. Kind of talk about everything happening there at SAS.
We're a family-owned racetrack. John and Sandra Dykes are going into, I believe, their 28th year owning the racetrack. John is a former racer himself, a short track guy,
Mhm.
and we did a special video thing a couple years ago when it was his 25th season about why he bought the racetrack and why he did things. He said, "Well, I bought the racetrack because I had been kicked out. Because my car was cheated up and they wouldn't let me come back. So I decided to buy the racetrack and allow other people the opportunity to race because I didn't like the way it was being ran at the time. And he has told a story to a good friend of mine, Don Halford, who has been a scoring guru across the Southeast for a long time. And Don got his first job at the racetrack years and years ago for John Dykes at South Alabama Speedway. And John Dykes told Don Halford, he said, "Well, Don, I'll tell you this: the first year I don't make any money, I'm going to sell this place." And John Dykes has been doing it 28 years. So he's made some money, but he's also treats racers the way they want to be treated. A lot of places you go to these days try to make their money at the back gate at the expense of the racer. John has never been like that. He's going to make sure that he does what he's supposed to do, treats his race car drivers and teams fairly, and he also is going to make sure he treats the fans fairly as well. John, in South Alabama Speedway, we have probably the best overall local car counts anywhere in the Southeast. We only race late models one time a year. We only bring in outside folks one time a year. Other than that, we're local shows. We're running 4 cylinders. We're running the old Roadrunner division, grocery getters and modifieds and things like that on a weekly local division every Saturday night. And we average 85 to 90, or sometimes over 100 cars in those local divisions every time we open the gates. And that's a testament to the type of person and racer and friend of racers that John and Sandra are.
Yeah, and that goes a long way, Ryan, in my opinion, because I talk about it on here a lot, to where it's like 2 examples that I always use. When you look at Mobile and Pensacola, you look at Pensacola, and I mean, they'll blow it out of the water, you know, it comes to late models and so forth and so on, but they struggle when it comes to trucks and Sportsman, yet Mobile is really good with that, but with local stuff. But man, it really seems like just the loyalty there, and I think that's just good customer service, right? I mean, people respect what the Dykes have done there, and they just keep coming back. It's fair. Yeah, people are always going to get pissed off and twisted up in whatever way, but still, it's fair, and people just want to come back. And I got to tell you, Ryan, the most impressive thing to me last year, because I'd never been there before, and I'm trying to figure out where it is, and I'm driving, and I'm like, okay, I'm not sure where I'm going. Boom, there it is. And it's like, and then you're pulling all of these cars in the local stuff, man. It really is just a superb effort what happens there at South Alabama Speedway.
Yeah, the whole community of Southeast Alabama comes together for that weekend, because we know how big of an impact economically it makes on a part of the world and a part of the state that, you know, is falling on hard times. Of course, the entire United States is in an economic issue with prices going up, everything going up except for wages, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But South Alabama and Southeast Alabama has always been, you know, rural and always been a little bit maybe less developed than other parts of the deep South, and they know how much that weekend means. We have, you know, people coming in from more than 20 states to the Rattler this weekend. Even got a message a couple of weeks ago from some folks coming from Canada, coming to camp. They're making a swing through the deep South to go racing, and they're going to make a stop here, and they're going to go down to Pensacola in a couple of weeks after that. And it's going to be a fun event. And just real quick about John Dykes a little bit. He's one of my favorite human beings on planet Earth, and it's not just the local racer that loves him, but it's all the way up to NASCAR champions. He and Kyle Busch share a birthday. They both have the same birthday.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, Kyle was at the racetrack shaking down one of his late models before, I believe, Christopher Bell got in the car that weekend and won the Rattler. But Kyle was there and was shaking it down, just having some fun. And somebody came up to him and told him that it was John Dykes' birthday as well as his that day. And he sent one of his crew guys into op to the Piggly Wiggly grocery store and got John a birthday cake, and he and John Dykes and Kyle Busch shared a birthday cake in the pit area that weekend. So the respect goes from the grassroots racer all the way up to the upper echelon of the champions of NASCAR.
No doubt about it, man. That is so cool. And when I pulled into op last year, I mean, I saw the township sign right there, and it said opportunity, and that's something that it looks like has really happened there, and making the best of it. So here we go. Let's talk about the weekend coming up. I mean, like I said, a week from now, we're going to be pretty hard nosed getting ready to go for the 48th annual Hardy's Rattler 250. And I think this year it's, I mean, Ryan, you and I think we had the pleasure. We called that race last year, and a lot of folks reached out to me, and it's like, you guys were great or whatever. And it's like, it wasn't what we did. It wasn't what we did. It was what those guys did. I mean, it was just a hell of a show right there. We get ready to do it again. Now we add the Sportsman and the Baby Rattler in there, presented by Rogers Dab Chevrolet. Just kind of your thoughts on the weekend, man. It's going to be a star-studded cast in all those divisions getting set to go.
It's always so fun to call that weekend. I have the opportunity to call action at South Alabama Speedway, 20 times a year.
Yeah.
But there's asphalt super late models. I know I might be partial, but they've always been my favorite type of racing. I know that you got folks out here that are, live and die by the religion of dirt sprint cars and things of that nature. But asphalt pavement super late models are awesome. Just the way they're built, the way they look, the way they sound, the way they race is just amazing. And especially at our place at South Alabama Speedway, who's all that people that come in from all over the country always say that South Alabama is a quote racy little racetrack.
Yeah.
It's an old school racetrack. We don't have the glitz and the glamour that a lot of places across the country do these days, but what we do very, very well down there. It's a place where you can make moves on the inside. You can make moves on the outside. I've seen Bubba make countless passes on the outside when the inside lane gets jammed up and there's nowhere to go on the inside lane because you got cars stacked up, nose to tail. I've seen Bubba and other guys, Jeff Choquette in the past, jump up on the outside lane and just go, because you can make moves on the outside if places are bogged down. Super late model racing is awesome. The pro late model racing is always good there. Sometimes it's a little adventurous with those pro late models on Saturday night, but I look forward to the Sportsman series that's making its first trip to South Alabama Speedway. Of course, all of our local divisions. It's going to be a phenomenal show. Star-studded as always. Already on the entry list, Pollard and Nassie. Up and coming guys and champions from the Midwest, champions from the West Coast, champions from the Northeast, all want to come race at South Alabama Speedway. And I'm told there's maybe a couple more entries that are not yet on the list officially. So one of them maybe a pretty big name, if you catch my drift, in Rattler history that may be coming to join us here next weekend.
Man, there you go. And of course, Jared checking in right there. I mean, you got the Crown Vics. I mean, you're going to be a part of that right there. I mean, that it's just going to be a great. It's just going to be a great end of the week, end of the weekend. Rattler 250. There as we start diving in, Ryan. Kind of what you're talking about right there when we talk about racy joint. It. I mean, I know that you talk or folks talk to a lot of super late model drivers, even the pros. They like the big, wide half miles and all that. I mean, that's where you can stand on the gas and do all these different things. But dang it, right there at South Alabama, man. That's I don't really. I guess it's a bull ring, but it's really not. I mean, it doesn't race like a congested bull ring. I mean, it just races to me like a badass track to where there's plenty of room. I love the kink in the back straightaway back there. It's just it produces some of the best racing you're going to find. No offense to the half miles, but God bless America. It's hard to beat what you see there in Op.
Well, the thing is we were supposed to be a half mile.
That's right.
It's a 0.4 of a mile racetrack, but it was supposed to be a half mile, but there was a little problem in the measurement when they constructed the place years and years ago. They measured it wrong, and it actually wound up being 0.4 of a mile, not a half mile. But I think it's a perfect little size. It's not a big half mile where you can, like you just said, stand on it and let her fly like a place like Mobile or a place like Montgomery, and it's not a little quarter mile where you can't get any momentum going, where it's all gas, brake, gas, brake, gas. It's a place where it's got decently long straightaways, but there's a lot of corner at South Alabama Speedway on those 0.4, and it's on the 0.4 of a mile oval. It's got good banking. It's not a flat track. To me, it's a neat little racetrack. A lot of drivers say it races a little bit like Cordele over at was now what Cordele Motor Speedway, what was the Watermelon Capital Speedway and Chris Motorsports Park. But a lot of people say it's similar to that, but it's not too similar because it's its own beast. It's a neat little racetrack, and if you've never been there before and you're listening to us, it'd be an awesome place next weekend to come hang out. for some good old school short track racing.
Oh man, you got that right. I mean, it really is. The food's good. I mean, it really does. I mean, it just feels like an old school short track. Speaking of that, Ricky Brooks, Cordele coming up here in just a little bit here on Dirty Air. Lastly, Ryan, so talking about the week. I mean, like you said, there's camping. I mean, it's not the magnitude just simply because there's not availability. I mean, there's not space like there may be at Pensacola and some of these different places, but I mean, when you roll up in there, I mean, campgrounds are going to be juiced. I mean, the pits are going to be packed. Spectator parking is going to be full. I mean, it's just one hell of a. I mean, it's a race, it's a party, and it's just a good time. It's just a good time that happens there at South Alabama.
Absolutely, we take our tailgating and pretty seriously up here in Alabama. So it's a great weekend. I mean, the campground will be slam full all weekend long. Um, there are a couple of spots still available. So if you want to bring your camper or your motorhome or something, just contact the racetrack on Facebook, and we'll get you in contact with Mark Chisholm, who handles all of our camping. He'll get you squared away there. And it's not just a Sunday show. Yeah, we're amped for the 48th Rattler 250 on Sunday afternoon, but it's a whole weekend. I mean, we're next Wednesday, we have local practice. We're going to open up for our local cars. Hey, just come on out, turn some laps. Thursday, late model practice all day long from sun up till sundown. Friday, a full local card on a Friday night. I'm talking about 7 local divisions are going to be in action for you on Friday night. And sometimes at our place, it's like Bowman Gray. The crowd watching, the people watching is better than the racetrack, better than the action on the track sometimes. So that's worth the price of admission alone. Saturday is jam-packed from start to finish. You got qualifying for both late model divisions. You got the UARA Sportsman. You got road runners. You got modifieds and 125 laps of pro late model racing, all gearing up for the big show on Sunday. Come out all weekend, hang out with us, eat some food, and maybe even see a rattlesnake or two before it's all said and done.
Oh my goodness, that was last year. They kept it. Come on. No, I am not. This Texan is a chicken shit when it comes to snakes. Right there. I saw somebody post there about Ty Majeski. How cool was that last year? I mean, and you had the intel right there as we're waiting on him to get back from Atlanta and so forth and everything that's going on, man. That I think that kind of gave us an idea what that weekend was going to turn into as all that transpired.
That guy is something special anywhere he goes, but especially at South Alabama Speedway. Years ago, he and crew chief Toby Noodleman hit on something that's been a solid baseline setup for them for years at South Alabama Speedway. And not only to see him, jump off the airplane or get out of the truck in Atlanta, get on the airplane, get off the airplane, get down the highway to the racetrack, and then get on the golf cart to go across the racetrack and jump in. First time he'd been on the racetrack in 3 days, and he goes out on his first lap and sets fast time.
Yeah.
I mean, that just tells you what kind of setup, and then not only later in the weekend, he decided he wanted to take the worst to first challenge.
Yeah.
Central Florida Roofing put up $10,000. Hey, start on the tail of the field and go win the race. And he came up about 11 laps short as the goat chased him down and did Bubba Pollard things and took that one away from him. But if Ty decides to make the trip again to South Alabama Speedway next weekend for the Rattler, he has to, I think, go to the top of the board as the favorites to win the event right up there with Pollard as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's going to be a star-studded cast, and I highly recommend for folks to get over there, make it a destination race because it is. I mean, get yourself out there, watch a racy joint, as Ryan said. And, of course, if you can't do it, you can catch it on Racing America. Ryan and I, along with Jake Wilson, will be on the call. You add the Sportsman. It's going to be a great time. Ryan, my man, I cannot wait to get down there to see all my kinfolk. We'll have to hit the campground and do some cool stuff. I'm going to add an extra day there just for fun. So we'll be sure and do that again. And once again, as always, man, thank you for letting me be a part of your show. Can't wait for the 48th rendition. It's going to be a fun one.
Come on over. We'll have us a cold beverage before we get started on the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do it. All right, Ryan. Take care, my man. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you next week.
See y'all.
You bet. There he goes, Ryan McCollough. That is the voice of South Alabama Speedway, the 48th annual Hardee's Rattler 250 coming up next weekend at South Alabama Speedway. It's going to be one hell of a show. It is going to be one hell of a show. Jared Riles checking in. Hope to see my buddy Daniel Webster. I would assume that you're probably going to see him. Jake also checked in. As we said, he's going to be a part of the broadcast with all of us as well. So really looking forward to just everything that's going to be happening there, because it really is one of the best shows that you're going to find in the season. And it's the cool thing about that race. What I like about that race is you get into some of these races, with the All-American 400, even the Derby, from time to time, where they get a little long. Things do kind of run a little long. 250 laps. When it's raced clean and it's raced the way that it was raced last year, we had a couple of things that went wrong, but man, that thing went quick and it came down to the wire. It was a classic, and I guarantee you that this year will be as well, and it is coming up. Starts, like Ryan was just talking about, next Wednesday. The locals get on the racetrack. Then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the action gets really real when we head to the Rattler 250. Coming up, we are heading to the drag strip. It is opening weekend for the NHRA as they get set to go with the Gator Nationals, the Gator Nationals happening over in Gainesville. Really special interview coming up as we will talk to Alexis DeJoria. She will join me coming up next in the Dirty Air. It's where the short trackers gather. It's where the drag strippers gather. Not strippers, drag strip folks gather. I may need to kind of rephrase that one and not do stuff on the fly. Supercross, we all gather together. Whatever we do, we get together at 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern, each and every Thursday right here on Racing America. Coming up, Alexis will join us. It is Dirty Air.
Well, it's a bloody merry morning, baby left me without warning sometime in the night. So I'm flying down to Houston before getting her the nature of my flight. Yeah, I'm flying down to Houston before getting her the nature of my flight.
Dirty Air rolls on Racing America, and we have been talking everything so far on your Thursday night, talking short track racing, Rattler 250, all that good stuff that's coming up. And, of course, you can catch that race right here on Racing America. But, this is what I love about doing Dirty Air on Racing America is I talk about everything. I talk about short track racing. I talk about NASCAR, even though some people don't want to hear about that stuff. We talk about NHRA drag racing. That's what we're about to talk about. We talk about Supercross. We talk about everything. And now joining me right here, I am super excited right here. Man, this is fun because I'm a fan. Makes it even cooler. Funny car driver, NHRA. They are firing off this weekend in Gainesville. It is Alexis DeJoria. How we doing, ma'am?
Doing very good. Thank you. I'm out here at Gainesville Raceway. We're going to race our very first race of the season.
Yeah.
Really excited. I've been doing media stuff all day, getting ready. So
yeah,
pretty pumped right now.
Media stuff all day, and then you got to talk to me. And it's like, oh my God, no more.
But this is the last thing. Then I get to go eat. So
it's like no more. So the cool part about this is, and I kind of mentioned this to you, as the cool kids say, you're in my hood. I'm in Round Rock, Texas, which for folks that don't know, it's about 15 miles north of Austin. you're an Austin, Texas resident. Kind of talk about that allure of Austin, Texas. A lot of people, when they talk about COTA, they're like, COTA's in Austin. I'm like, no, it's not. That's in Elroy. But
right.
kind of talk about that. I love that you're an Austinite.
Yeah, that's like when we race out in Illinois, they say we're racing in Chicago. I'm like, Chicago's a little far, but
Yes.
But yeah, I love living in Austin. My father was the first of our family to move from California to Austin when my brother was born, my younger brother. So that was a long time ago, and they had always been trying to get me to move out there, and I'm like, I'll never leave the beach ever, right?
Yeah.
And then I ended up moving there. Anyway, over 10 years ago, I think I'm coming up on 15 or 16 years in Texas.
Yeah.
So
feels
good.
Not a bad place to be. It's pretty cool.
It's definitely not. In the middle of the summer, it's not really nice.
God, that's horrible.
All the other times, it's good.
Yeah, that's horrible. So let's talk about for you. I mean, behind the wheel of that funny car, the Bandero Premium Tequila GR Supra funny car. What do we have in store for you this year? And I think it's double-sided for you because not only are you the pilot, and I call you guys pilots. You're not a driver. You're a pilot of that machine because you're going that damn fast. Also a co-owner of that. Kind of talk about what we have in store for 2024.
So redemption. We started off last season like a bat out of hell. Our car was the quickest, most consistently quick car throughout the races. I mean, we had such a badass car. We were in the top 4, top 2 throughout most of the first half of the season, and then we had some issues. We had some unfortunate issues that really affected us for the rest of the season, and kind of we slowly got bumped out. But we're coming back like gangbusters, man. We've got we've got a lot of proving to do right now, and we have the car to do it. And Del Worsham puts together a fantastic package. I've got a great crew, great race car, great sponsors with Toyota and Bandero, and now it's just stringing it all together. We gotta win a race. It's been a minute.
That's right. Talk about Del Worsham. I mean, that's one of those things when you have somebody like that. I mean, a proven winner himself. I mean, that name right there in drag racing circles, people are like, wow. Kind of talk about having that dude on your team right there. That's got to be a kick in the ass right there that just really helps everything as you go.
It really is. When I was 16, I saw him going down the racetrack in a nitro funny car, and he's one of the reasons why I got into the sport. Is this him and John Forrest and the nitro funny cars in general? Watching them go down the track in Pomona, that was it for me. I was like, that's what I'm going to do. One day I will do that, and respectfully learn my way and learn my way through the ropes. It's got to come from the bottom up because I had no history of racing and nobody in my family raced professionally.
Yeah.
But to be able to say that he's my mentor, he's my teammate, he's my friend and my crew chief throughout the years, it's just a dream come true. And he's won a funny car championship and a top fuel championship. He's done it all.
Yeah. Alexis, for you coming into 2024, I mean, obviously chasing that championship, you want to be the funny car champion. But for you, this
first female would be great.
Right, first female.
Yes.
And you were the first.
I have an advantage because I'm the only female in the class right now.
That's okay. I mean, I kind of take that all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't, but it would be.
It's still cool.
Ideally that's what's on all of our minds.
That's right. That's right.
You want to win the championship. Winning races, going rounds is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Championship is the ultimate goal. That's why we're here.
That's right. But for you, I mean, this is nothing new. You've got over 10 seasons in funny car. I mean, you have done this a long time. You have won races. So for you, this has got to be pretty cool to be able to dive in here with the support that you have to go for a full season and get out there and just kick some people's asses. I don't care if they're man, woman, child, monkey, whatever.
Yeah, monkeys. We could talk about that.
Like that.
I had one for a while. I have 6 stitches to prove it.
Ah, great.
But anyway, that's a conversation for another day.
That's right.
But yes, I've been out here for a while, won races, broke records, won the U.S. Nationals, just, done everything basically, but the championship, the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
It's very much attainable. We have the manpower to do it, and it can be done. So we thought we were on our way last year, and sometimes, it's just you don't have control over certain things. It's like a $5 part can just ruin your day. You know what I mean? And we had a couple things like that just plagued us that never happened to us before, but it's a learning experience, and it really brought us together and made us stronger. And we are hungry, man. We are so hungry.
That's what it seems like. So how cool would it be? I mean, as we dive into the brand new season right here with you in Funny Car and chasing a championship, International Women's Day is going to be on March 8th. That's Friday.
Nice.
That's tomorrow.
Awesome.
So
Great.
so for you, with that weekend coming up, you come on out and you go to the Gator Nationals and you just take care of business, clean their clocks,
Yes.
whip their asses.
Yes.
How great would that be
Yes.
for you?
All of it. All of the above. No friends.
Yeah. I mean,
No friends on the starting line. That's it.
no, it's got to be. It's got to be. Take me, Alexis, into the mind of a Top Fuel drag racer. You're doing this stuff. You're hauling ass down there, and I mean, a lot of folks say, "Well, it's just a straight line." They tell us in racing, "Well, you're just going in a circle." Well, you try it.
Yeah,
I've done it.
it's a great start to a race, right?
Kind of. How do you prepare for that? I mean, because it's got to be a psyche for you to where it's like each and every time that you're about to do this, you're going to rip this thing up going 340 miles an hour. How do you prepare yourself before each and every run?
Wash, rinse, repeat. Just constant consistency. Honestly, that's key. You want to do everything the same way every time you get up there, and be in that positive mental attitude, and just be ready for it, man, and enjoy the ride, because it's fast, and before you know it, it's over. So, being very much in the moment, not thinking about what happened 1 second ago, or just enjoying the ride and taking names, man.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's what it's all about. So, Alexis, the other part of this for you, I mean, not only being the driver and having to work with sponsors and all the obligations like you're talking about today, having to do this with me here on Racing America, talk about the team owner part. We've seen a lot of guys. Tony Stewart's about to embark into a Top Fuel career. Kind of talk about that part, because that's a whole different element right there. Distractions. There can be a lot of distractions having to do all that stuff.
Yes and no. When I raced Alcohol Funny Car, I was the team owner as well. So it's kind of, I've always kind of been the team mom in general, just checking in with everybody. I'm really aware of how everybody's feeling, because this is a lot of different, how should I say this, just a lot of personalities. You're on the road together. It's a racing family. You're away from your friends, your family, your wives or husbands, whatever, girlfriends, kids. So it can take a toll on people, and we're all human. It's a roller coaster ride out here, and you're going to lose more times than you're going to win. And it's about just keeping track of everybody and making sure everyone's head is in the game and on the same page. And, sometimes being a shoulder to cry on, or somebody to talk to.
Yeah. So let's talk about Top Fuel 2024 in NHRA. I mean, I love the Top Fuel cars. I mean, I'm sorry, Funny Car.
Know about Top Fuel?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Talking about Top Fuel with the funny cars. I mean, let's talk about the field right there. I mean, that is a loaded field. Hagen, Hyde, all of these guys, man. You got some of the best, and just kind of talk about some of the folks that you're going to be dealing with week after week, starting this weekend in Gainesville.
Well, they're gonna have to deal with me.
Ow! Boom! Boom!
But yeah, I've got some good friends out here. Obviously, when we're strapped into those beasts and we're on the starting line, there are no friends. It's just you in the car and your lane. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Funny Car is so competitive. All the classes are competitive, obviously, but Funny Cars especially. All of these cars are running fast, all sub 4 second runs now. 380s are getting picked off left and right. So it's anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, no doubt. Still got to be the coolest thing for you that you were the first lady to do a sub 4-second run back
That's
in
pretty
2014.
Very proud of that moment. Yes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right. I tell you, my friend, I'm so excited that you've been a part of Dirty Air here on Racing America. I'm looking forward to cheering you on. And
Awesome.
and here's the other part. When you get back over here, you need to message me margaritas and tacos and all that. Man, we are right here. We are right here.
Yeah, there's some good stuff out in Round Rock.
Yeah, absolutely. We will definitely do that. Good luck this weekend. We'll be checking in on you and just keep kicking ass. Looking forward to it.
All right, man. Thank you.
You bet. Take care.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bloody Mary morning. Baby left me without warning sometime in the night. So I'm flying down to Houston before getting her the nature of my flight. Yeah, I'm flying down to Houston before getting her the nature of my flight.
Back on Dirty Air as our Thursday rolls on. Dirty Air on Racing America, where the short trackers gather. Great conversations we have already been having this afternoon or this evening, I guess, as it is. Talking there to Ryan McCollough. That's going to be my partner coming up next week at the Rattler 250. So great conversation there. And how about some NHRA? That's been some great stuff to talk about as well. Welcoming back to Dirty Air. Good to see this dude again. It is my man, Mr. Ricky Brooks. Ricky, how you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good, Rodney. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, sir. I'm doing well. Thank you for taking the time this evening. So, first of all, how's Georgia?
Georgia's kind of rainy still. Yesterday it rained all day, and today it tried to rain with 0% rain. It's kind of like Florida.
Oh, yeah. It kind of sounds as well. I'll tell you, here in Texas, we were 91 yesterday, and we are flirting with about 88 today. So, but we got some cool coming for a good Houston event coming up on Saturday on the pavement. So, looking forward to that one. So, we can talk about the obviously the Hardee's Rattler 250. Discuss that. But first of all, there with Cordele, I see it sitting there right behind you and talking about Georgia. Kind of talk about that transition right there. That's a great opportunity right there for you.
Yeah, it's a lifetime opportunity. It presented itself, and there's a ton of work going on up here at the Speedway right now. A lot of remodeling. When people walk into the place at the end of the month, they'll be surprised of what they see.
Oh, that's great. And I bet that's been quite a bit because there was an event there, you know, at Cordele earlier in the year, and then all of this happens, and it's been a very quick transition there for you to take over that there with the Nolans, to take that over and get this thing in shape and get ready to go.
Yeah, there's been 3 different crews working up here for about 3 weeks now, so it's a lot of moving parts currently, and there's a lot of moving parts getting it ready to go and opening up on the 30th.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you kind of mentioned right there, I mean, that's one of those spots. I mean, there's racetracks around the country, a lot of great short tracks, but that one there in Cordele, that is definitely a destination spot right there to be able to be at the helm of that place.
Yeah, it's a unique place. It's similar to South Alabama, where the Rattler's at. The 2 tracks are very similar. You can overdrive each one of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So you mentioned it right there. Here we go. It is time. We're just a week out, and it's time to go to the Rattler 250 once again. Kind of talk about preparation for all of that there at South Alabama. That's a benchmark event. You taking the helm of that one last year, and man, I got to say, I think we hit a real grand slam on that one last year. That was just a great event.
Yeah, knock on wood, we get good weather. It should be another grand slam this year.
Yeah.
We're sitting at 30 entries right now, paid in the Super and the Pro. So hopefully we'll hit that 32 mark. That's about all you want there because of the parking. We'll run out of room. So hopefully we'll have about 24 to 28 Sportsman cars there for Saturday night as well.
That's the other part of it that I wanted to ask you about with those Sportsmen, that you've done such a great job right there with those. I mean, I know in Texas we've tried to get outlaws, and you see different tracks struggling with outlaws, but kind of speak to that. You've really honed that in and gotten those rules in place, and those Sportsmen, man, they just continue to show up and put on great shows as well.
Yeah, we've had 2 great seasons with them. Good car counts. Looking for another good year this year if we can ever get it kicked off because of weather. First 2 events got canceled because of rain, so hopefully we can get this one in.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, Ricky, for folks that haven't been to the Rattler 250, kind of give folks an idea, a reason to go to that. I mean, the racetrack in and of itself. I mean, the competition is great, like you talk about with the Baby Rattler, and then with the Rattler, and with the Sportsman in the local divisions. That, if you're a short track fan, like you mentioned about Cordele, South Alabama Speedway, that's a place that you go, and you just expect edge of your seat. The announcer and me coming out, edge of your seat, just good racing. What you get right there.
It's another snowball derby, in my opinion. I mean, we start out on Wednesday with local practice that evening, and then we go into Thursday Super and Pro practice, and it's just a fun-filled weekend. The campground will be slap full, people out having a good time, a lot of good racing, local racing, and then the 2 late model shows as well. You know, last year the 250 was probably one of the best it's been there in a while.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And what I like about this, Ricky, is, mentioning some of the other big races and everything, but what I really like about the way that you do your shows when it comes to these big races, it's more condensed. I mean, it's just not on and on and on where it's like hours and hours of practice. I mean, it's like it's a challenge to the teams. It's like you better get your stuff right because you don't have a lot of on-track time before qualifying and then before you get to the actual race itself.
Yeah, I mean, the Rattler, it's 4 days if you do the optional practice day.
Yeah.
The Speedway needs that income to make the event work. So that's just the way it's got to be, Yeah,
no doubt about it. So a little bit of a change right there. Now UARA, I love that. I think that's a really cool. I love what that stands for. I mean, I think that is so cool. I mean, the United Auto Racing Alliance. Kind of talk about the change right there. Nothing changes when it comes to everything that you're doing. I mean, it's still the same quality product with the same quality drivers and just great competition.
Well, I've had the UARA for 2 years now. Been doing some other stuff with it as well. Everything's fine in the racing world with us. We're just going a different direction. The UARA is my wife's and myself's. So we're just taking the national over, and the Sportsman, which we already had, we just renamed it, and I'll still be going out west doing some SRL stuff, and Larry will still be at the Rattler just like he was last year. So all you're going to see is a different logo.
Yeah, different logo and a very good one. I like the red, white, and blue with that little bit of black. Lastly, Ricky, as we start into the season, just kind of your thoughts. Let's put the race fan cap on because we're all race fans at heart. Just kind of what you've seen so far on pavement and dirt. It looks like we're off to a pretty dadgum good start right now. Healthy car counts, healthy crowd counts. I think we're on a pretty good path for 2024 as we get into a very busy March.
Yeah, right now short track racing looks good for the year. We were all expecting it to be on a decline this year a little bit,
Mhm.
but so far it doesn't show that. And hopefully we can keep it going and get through the election and keep it strong.
That's real. That's it. That's it. Election year, and we're starting out good. I think that's a very good thing. Ricky, as always, thank you for joining Dirty Air. Looking forward to seeing you next week over in Op, and looking forward to the 48th annual Hardee's Rattler 250. I know it's going to be a great event once again.
Yes, sir. We'll see you next week.
All right, Ricky, take care.
Thank you.
Well, it's a bloody Mary morning, baby left me without warning sometime in the night. So I'm flying down to Houston with forgetting her the nature of my flight. Yeah, I'm flying down to Houston forgetting her the nature of my flight.
No.
Can you hear?
No. Mm.
Is that how you done it last time?
We're going to do one more thing, and dang it, I lost him. But we'll go back to that. So I will talk about the Alabama 200. We saw that with the pro late models, hell of a race right there with Casey Roderick. And the thing that I was talking about on my on the Texas show with Bobby Chaffee and I on Revved Up, I was talking about how it was so different for me every time that I saw the 18 car. I kept wanting to say it was weird to have Jake Finch in that car. I kept wanting to say, "Here comes Hunter Robb." I mean, not that I was announcing the race, but truth be told, when I'm watching races, I'm kind of announcing them even from my perch, but at the house. But I was like, "Here comes Hunter Robbins," and it really wasn't. I mean, it was Jake Finch, so a little bit different right there. Let's try this again. Flying Ryan Colby, we got you, my man.
We got me. You got me.
Yes, success. Look at that, man. That long ass phone wire all the way over there, and we made it work. Ryan,
Right.
welcome to Dirty Air, man. Looks like you're in the shop, dude. You guys grinding over there, my friend?
For sure. Trying to get ready for the weekend. As long as rain doesn't come in and pretty much kill it for us, we are.
So what's on the weekend agenda? We'll talk about the Rattler here coming up. But you back over at Jackson again this weekend?
No, we were at Jackson this past weekend, and I think they're off for a few weeks. So this week we'll go to Chatham. We were going to go to Magnolia, but it rained out, so it's going to be Chatham, Louisiana. Super B Speedway.
Super B Speedway, very nice. Yeah, I saw that event, and of course, this interview presented by Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet, GM Performance Parts, great partners of Ryan, great partners of mine, and they bring Ryan onto the program. So let's talk about Jackson last weekend. I was kind of following along right there, whether it be on the different timing and scoring or whatever. It looked like you were in complete control of everything at Jackson this past weekend, my man.
We were pretty good. There towards the end, I just kept getting tighter and tighter on the top. I really thought I had a tire going down on the right rear, but kept getting tighter. So I moved down and a couple laps. Then second place got back to me, and I had to get up. And I got up at like the last second and drove on to win from there. But it was kind of hectic for me for a minute for sure because I just kept getting tight and I couldn't make it through the corner without lifting and slowing down. And it allowed him to come back to me, and finally I just got on the top and made it work and led the last 4 or 5 laps, and that was it. Really got the dub.
Yep, no doubt about it. Good way to start the year for you. So I do want to ask you because I know that you and I talked about this just kind of over a couple of beers, but kind of talk about the snowflake experience because you're about to do that again. You're going back into a pro late model and asphalt car when you're used to having all that horsepower at your foot, and you dive into one of those things, man. Kind of talk about that transition right there, where it's like an old mule. You're trying to kick it, and it's like it just won't go, man. Kind of make that correlation right there.
Really like the snowflake. When we showed up, we were just way off. Like the spring smasher, how you get dialed in really was like 200 pounds off on each corner. So like
Yeah.
we were in left field from the get go. And then with the rain and stuff, when we finally got it right, we didn't have any more test sessions. So we had to kind of go into qualifying blind, and I really wasn't sure what the car was going to do or even act like. So I kind of babied it a little bit, and it was qualifying. Like, you can't baby it during qualifying. So we kind of got put behind the 8 ball there, and then from the rest of the deal, like, it was just horrible luck. But I am definitely looking forward to getting in it again at the Rattler. Completely different racetrack and different show, but hopefully we can kind of line up this time at least be a little bit better. I am kind of worried about it.
Well, but the thing about it is, I mean, I know that we kind of talked a little bit, kind of off the record there about the difference of the racetrack. This isn't one of those big old half miles. This is a 4/10 of a mile. I was just talking to Ryan McCollough earlier on the show, one of my partner that will be working that race. It's not a bull ring. It's got room, but I mean, it's smaller, and this is more a driver's racetrack. But again, it's different when you're used to standing on the gas all the time.
Right, that's the main part. But what I really struggled with was just keeping the race car down. Like, once you do pick the gas back up where you need to,
Yeah.
it would just kind of want to go up the hill. And from the videos I've watched, this place is really, really, really like super need to keep it down on the bottom and not get loose when when you finally do turn through the middle, and it doesn't have to like correct. Like, you don't have to go back to the right. Like, it just kind of makes a good circle and keeps traction. That's the main thing I'm worried about really, is the car, honestly. I think once I get some laps in, I think we'll be fine. But the main thing is just like having the car make circles. Like, if it won't make circles
Ah, damn it, lost him right there. And I had a great question for him.
from there.
Yeah, there he comes back. We got him back. So it is one of the biggest.
Now I can't hear you again.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on one second here. We'll see if we can get him again. Ah, I think we lost him. Can you hear me? Yeah, lost him right there. One of the things I wanted to ask him was, because I know with the dirt late model, it is very much all about momentum, because so much of it is that you're trying to keep momentum going around the racetrack, and I know that's super imperative when it comes to that. And Ryan, as I welcome you back in, it's I was talking about with a crate dirt late model, it's all about momentum. When it comes to one of these pro late models on asphalt, very much about momentum, but just in a totally different way, because it's got to be weird for you, because you're probably not used to driving straight and having to do things. You're on the edge of your seat in a dirt car, and in one of these pro late models, you're just kind of it's finesse, I think, is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I don't know, it's still a crate motor, so you can pretty much go in there and gas it back up pretty good. But what I've really realized is, if you have a car that's not really wanting to make a circle on asphalt, it's just horrible from there. Like, if I miss the setup on dirt a little bit, I'm fine. But like, if I miss it on asphalt, and everybody's a couple thousandths of a second apart, like, then you just go from 10th with a decent car to 35th with a horrible car. And that's been the hardest part for me, really, is I don't know anything about the asphalt stuff, and like, everything I've kind of went with, it works opposite. And like, that's been the biggest struggle for me, is just figuring out how to make the race car go, to like my liking. Like, say it's not turning good enough and I need it to turn. Well, like, do you go left rear, or do you go right front? And like, I really don't know. So like, it's been a struggle for me for sure, like, getting started right here.
A dadgum crossweight. That's what it's all about right there. Lastly, Ryan, let's talk about you talking about this weekend, Midnight Motorsports. You guys, what all do you have in store? You've got the pavement races. Hopefully, you'll be able to get more of those on the calendar. But for you guys in the late model, what all do you have in store? Is there a regular schedule, or are you guys picking and choosing at this point?
Really, we're just trying to kind of get a schedule put together. The first of the year is so hard getting a schedule put together because of the rain. Like,
Yeah.
So like, if I tell people I'm going to one place and then it rains out, or I think it's going to rain out and it ends up not raining out, and like I miss it, like, it's just kind of a bad deal. So I kind of try to pick and choose where we go, kind of really like that Monday or something. Like when I know what the weather's going to do, I'll pick and choose what I'm going to do. But for right now, pretty much we're sticking in Mississippi. I don't know if we'll get outside of Mississippi anytime soon or when we will or not. But right now it's just all over Mississippi pretty much. We got Jackson coming up again, like the 23rd, and there's a new racetrack April the 6th. It's called Pine Ridge. It's in Guntown, Mississippi. I'm pretty sure we'll try to hit that one up. It's a 3,000 to win. But yeah, man, really just trying to not race with the rain. Like I don't want to, if it's a chance of rain, I don't really want to even try to go like 5-hour pool or nothing like that when it's going to rain. So kind of just pick and choose where we go and watch the rain, really.
That's the worst part, dude. When the rain chances are like that, it's like it just kind of ruins everything. You can get all fired up and shit for going out to race, but it's like, man, I mean, you get there and it's like you're driving halfway and then boom, there's the thing, and you know it's not going to happen. I mean, that's kind of the crappy part about racing in March and April, even into May. It seems like down here in the Southeast.
Yeah, and the bad thing about it is like our weather, it'll say it's 90% Monday, but then by the time it gets to Friday, we don't even have no rain. So like it kind of messes everything up on the weatherman side, because like you really can't trust him. You know what I'm saying? Because it might rain, it might not rain. So like it's just super hard with the weather, like you said, in the South. You really don't know what's going to happen, if it's going to rain or if it's not going to rain. So most of the time it's kind of last minute, like where we go. If something rains out and this place didn't get no rain, then we'll go kind of last minute and try to keep our fans that do follow our page and stuff, kind of keep them updated to like, look, this happened, it rained here, so now we're going here. And like, I don't know, it's just kind of, it is hard to know, to keep everybody updated on what we're doing and when we're doing it and where we're doing it. It's just kind of hard at the first of the year. Like you said, till mid-May, 1st of June, you really don't know, you know?
I'm supposed to work pavement racing on Saturday in Houston, and it's supposed to rain like a son of a gun tomorrow, but Saturday's supposed to be nice. But I know better. I know better. I know the way that stuff works out. Flying Ryan, tell folks where to find you. You talked about the page right there. That really is the best place for folks to keep up, because this is one of the baddest assets you're going to find on that dirt track.
Yeah, follow us at Midnight Motorsports, man. We're trying to get more followers every day, and mainly subscribe to our YouTube channel. But if you just like and subscribe to the Facebook channel on Facebook, it'll kind of point you in the right direction for everything else, how you can go watch and just keep up with what we got going on, really.
Absolutely. All right, my man. Good luck this weekend if you're able to get one in. I'm sure that I'll run into you over in Op. Look forward to seeing you back on the pavement, my man. Get out there and show them how it's done, brother. We'll see you soon.
I'm going to try, brother. I'll see you next week for sure.
All right, dude. Take care.
You too.
You bet. There he is, Flying Ryan Colby. That is a badass. You watch that dude behind the wheel of a dirt late model, and it's like, my goodness. Man, those the dirt late models, the crates. I really like the crates a lot because they are honed down just a little bit, as we talk about, kind of with what I was just discussing with him, to where it's a crate to where that does limit a little bit of what you're able to do, kind of like we talk about with the pro late models. To that stuff does happen, but so that'll be a dirt ace moving over to the asphalt for the second time. And as I mentioned there, when he tried to do it over at the Snowball, not a lot of opportunity with rain and so forth, that kind of messed some things up. Going to step away for just a moment. I'll come back and I'll close this thing down and get you ready for your race weekend. We are in the dirty air and we are having one heck of a time on a Thursday night. Stick around, friends. More coming up.
Well, it's a bloody Mary morning, baby left me without warning sometime in the night. So I'm flying down to Houston with forgetting her the nature of my flight. Yeah, I'm flying down to Houston with forgetting her the nature of my flight.
On-Demand Shirts, official provider of Dirty Air gear. And when I head over to the Rattler 250, I'll have some caps, I'll have T-shirts. So come on up and find me, and I would be glad to hand you one of those if I still have some of those in my possession at that time. Like I was talking about the Alabama 200 that we saw last weekend, Roderick, the winner over Jake Finch. Jake Finch in the 18. That was still, like I was mentioning right before, that conversation right there was like, okay, here comes Hunter Robbins. No, that's not him. Seth Christensen, a great drive as he finishes third, followed by Gavin Graham, Dylan Fetcho, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there in the Alabama 200 as they get rolling. I have had some conversation right there. The On-Demand Shirts ads that you've been watching here this evening, great provider, like I talk about, of Dirty Air merchandise as well, of the Revved Up Sports Show. Houston Motorsports Park, the HMP Oval. It is the kickoff right there. The sole track, the sole asphalt track in the state of Texas, March the 9th. Looking like weather's going to cooperate, but that's just going to be a full Monty of racing action happening out there. You'll have the pro trucks. You will have modifieds. It's going to be, you'll have a factory stock class. You'll have the dirt factory stock class. It's going to be combined with a bootlegger class, which is a street stock type of class there. You'll have legends and dwarfs. They're kind of running together. What's happening in Texas is it's been a real effort there by Owen Pittman and the staff at the HMP Oval to just kind of figure out a way to get folks to the racetrack because, like I said, I mean, what was once a 6 to 8 thriving asphalt racetrack community now has one with 11 dates. So there's plenty of dates right there, but it's a matter of getting cars out of the weeds and getting cars to the racetrack and getting them on the racetrack and figuring out. It's like get them there and then we'll figure out where they're going to race. But that'll be coming up. So Houston, alive and well and going this Saturday. And you can catch that actually with our partners over at Race On. Great show that we have had tonight. Extended version of Dirty Air. Ryan McCollough, my man, joining me right at the top of that 6 o'clock hour, 7 o'clock hour, depending on what time zone you're in. He and I will be going live there from South Alabama Speedway, along with Jake Wilson, doing all of that fun stuff. That's coming up next week. So be sure and check that out. You can catch that right here on Racing America, along with the Easter Bunny festivities happening over at Hickory. Great conversation with Alexis DeJoria. She's there at the Gator Nationals at Gainesville as the NHRA dives off. Be looking for her in that funny car. She's going to be off and rolling in the Bandero Premium Tequila GR Toyota Supra. Watch her there in the funny car class. Ricky Brooks, the conversation there as well. And flying Ryan Colby, putting a cap on what has been a great Dirty Air. We will do it again next Thursday, friends. Reminder, you can catch the audio podcast. That's going to be available on Spotify, on Spreaker, on iTunes, on Google Play, all of that. Give it about a day, and you'll be able to catch this latest episode and, of course, all the replays available right here on Racing America, racingamerica.tv. I also remind you to be sure and check out that Racing America 24/7 channel on all connected devices, all those other apps and all this stuff. I don't know what a lot of that means, but I just know that there's a lot of places that you can catch all of this content. All right, you guys have a great racing weekend. Hopefully the weather holds out for wherever you were planning to go. And as I always say when I close out Dirty Air, if you can't get to a racetrack, find a streamer that is putting money back into a local short track, and you will be helping the cause. All right, you guys, next Thursday, probably be at the Rattler. So keep your eyes on the page right here. We'll figure out how we're going to be doing Dirty Air next Thursday. You guys have a great weekend. Be safe. Don't forget, spring forward. Spring forward. Not a better way to be having a cold beer at the racetrack late at night, actually the next morning, and then you lose an hour. That's what you get this weekend, guys. Spring forward. Don't forget to change your clocks. All right, guys, we'll do it again next Thursday where the short trackers gather. It is Dirty Air on Racing America. You guys be well. We'll see you soon.